Hello, lovely ones. So today I will talk a bit about stress culture and what there is instead if you don't want to be a part of that anymore. Maybe you haven't been for a while, like me. I realized yesterday we had our last call on the Divine Child, the advanced program for Divine Child Healers. So that was the continuation of the Divine Child Healers program, which is such a deep and amazing journey. And I also want to say first that my heart is really full after these 11 months with these amazing people. It's been such a beautiful group, and I'm also a little sad to just see it all ending now, but I know we'll stay connected, and in the soul realm we are forever connected with our soul families. Some we have met already and some we haven't met yet, so that also feels good to think about it that way. But just want to share that because in those sessions we have some really beautiful, deep conversation, very sincere, very open-hearted. And one other thing we came to talk about yesterday, because very naturally they wanted to know, like, what are the expectations, right? How many children should I be able to heal in a day, in a work week? And that really made me think about that I don't see it like that anymore. And I remember there was a time in my life where it was like thinking about achieving certain things in terms of doing a lot. But I remember it was already back at the university, just when I had my awakening, that things shifted for me. But then again, over and over, I have been taking a deeper look at my expectations of my everyday life and how much I should be able to accomplish, or what it actually feels joyful to accomplish. So I believe many of us have been trained into thinking that we need to do a lot in a day, that we need to accomplish something, like the more the better, the more we earn, if we can do a lot of things. So I remember when I was at the university, and there was this tendency of people not knowing when they had done enough, when enough was enough. They didn't know when they had done enough to relax. And I believe that's a general tendency. So some of the students mentioned yesterday also that it can be like this status symbol, like, oh, I'm so busy, I've been so busy. And I remember that, that's true, it was like that. It was like busy is successful. And to me, it couldn't be further from the truth at this moment. If you're busy from a place of joy, then you are often also successful. But if you're busy from a place of drained and not feeling enough, not feeling you have done enough, and feel yourself really run over, then I don't see that as very, we might not feel the success. We might be able to see that, okay, I have certain achievements, but actually I don't feel successful. I can't really enjoy it. So that is one thing I want to put out. And the fun thing was, okay, I just gonna sit a little differently. Sorry, I can feel my legs didn't want to play this game. So yeah, so what I saw after my awakening and I came back to work, I had left work being in a stressful mode. And when I came back, I was like looking at what I had been writing, and I was doing a PhD at the University of Copenhagen, and I looked at the things I've been writing, the papers, and I was like, oh gosh, I've been so stressed writing this. I could just see it. I could see that I had not allowed myself to the space to really let things sink in, to really have my realizations about what I was working with. It was science, so I hadn't allowed myself the clarity. I hadn't allowed myself, like, giving myself space to like digest whatever energies and realizations. For me, it doesn't matter if it's science or if it's spirituality that we are digesting, or everyday life that we are digesting. We need space and time to let it like land, or let it integrate without a lot of tension around it, or really to be able to understand it in depth. So I realized I hadn't done that before, that I had been stressed out and been running around stressful and just trying to like jot things down and really get things down on paper, and without really digesting it, without really making sense of it within me first. So I see that that is actually everyday life. Well, we talked about it yesterday, and one of the students said, she's also a nurse, and said, okay, I see this many people per day, because I said, oh, I will maximum have 4 sessions a day. And the reason I do that is because I want to have the desire to do it. I want to have the juices available to have a fun experience with my clients. I want to be really present and enjoy every moment. And I will not do that if I have like too little energy for it, or if I have not yet digested the previous client, or not digested in that sense, but you know what I mean, digested the emotions, digested all the processes, just really been allowed to dissolve within me and integrate whatever we have been working with. So I'm not eating my clients, just so you know. Okay, so and she was like, oh my gosh, yes, she felt so distressed from just seeing one client after another. I know from my friends who are psychologists as well, it can be very stressful to have like 8 clients in a day, because you move from one emotional system to another, like every client having their own emotional experience, and you are allowing yourself to be a vessel for that. As I see it, as healers, we are vessels for that. So, and even though you're not a healer, you might have a day where you feel there's a lot of things stuffed into it, and you don't give yourself the time and space to really digest. And the reason why I say you don't give yourself the time is like, we can think that it's people from outside. I often hear the thing about, oh, we want less hours, we want to work less hours, we want a shorter work week. 2 things in that. First of all, time is an illusion. So it's not necessarily going to make you feel that you have a lot more time. If your choice to do these things come from not feeling you don't have time, you will continue to drag that energy into new experiences. So it might not change a lot in the long run. You might feel it right away, and then it might change, and you might feel again, oh, I feel drained, I don't feel I have enough time for myself. There's a really important thing here, and that is maybe it's more energy. Maybe it's more about the energy. Do you have energy for it? Do you have energy in the things you have put into your day now? And the reason why I'm saying this way is, if your energy is no longer in your work, if you don't feel the desire to bring your energy there, then even just one day a week going there can feel extremely draining. So it's not about the amount of hours, really. It's about, is your energy there or not? And often you can say, okay, it's there for a little bit, and then it's more over in my family or in the forest or in my self-care or whatever it is, me enjoying my hobbies or whatever it is, whatever we want to call it. And then just seeing at that and see, okay, there might be something for me here. Understand when our energy is in something, it's there, it's not somewhere else. So we cannot force our energy in without us feeling completely drained. We can try for a little while to try to, with our mind, think about all the good things that our energy will do in this place, and then might be able to fuel it for a little bit, and then it will go down again, because our energy might not be here, might be over here instead. There might be a strong current taking you over in this direction. So if you keep trying to push it into the same place, it will feel really draining, no matter how few hours that are there. And I can say for myself, when I was leaving university, I thought I was going to still work with biology for a while, but it was like moving against a wall. There was no energy moving me in that direction. There were no opportunities that was really like pulling me in, really fueling this energy body. It was like all taking me in the spiritual direction, in the expansion there. So I wanted to share that because it's important that we understand our energy, and also understand that there's something important happening now. Also, I want to end off by saying one thing I was also mentioning yesterday was we don't have the same amount of energy every day. Especially women, we are very cyclic of nature. We have the cycles. Some days we have a lot of energy. We can work from early morning to late evening, and then a few days later, we like maximum 1 hour or want to be on the couch. So really understanding that there is nothing wrong in that. We just have created a society that works a little different, or expectations. You can also see that it's just expectations of being able to do the same thing every day, and if you can't do that, there's something wrong. Understanding that there's nothing wrong, that's actually how you work. Then I mean, also if you started planting seeds or sowing seeds in the winter when it's frost, you will also be like, it's not the seeds there's something wrong with, you're just planting in the wrong time of the year. So wait until there's actually the conditions are right for doing those things that will help a lot on fueling your energy. I've had a lot of clients coming to me lately who are in this part of the world and are not able to be on the traditional, like in the traditional work environment anymore, and they feel like it's a failure or that they're sick. And I'm like, if I try to do any of those things where my energy is not there, my body would definitely create sickness symptoms. And I feel great. Today I feel great. I feel great almost every day. But when we are pushing ourselves in a direction that the body does not want to go, it will definitely let us know. It will tell us. The body can scream really loud. It can hurt a lot. And it did for me when I was at the university. My mind liked the place there and the energy there of thinking, solving problems, a little bit like I do now, but the energy there was not really fitting for my body, and my belief systems were not fitting for my body. So my body was really screaming loud, creating these symptoms like your thoughts are not in alignment, your direction is not in alignment, and it was keep telling me that, like, stop, you're walking the wrong way, change direction now. And so that was what I ended up doing when the realization, the energy finally hit me, like in a way so I could understand that I needed to walk in another direction. But it's just to understand that we might have created experiences that are not fitting for our bodies or for human beings or for our direction forward. And it's okay, and it's a process to shift it and to understand that we do it from within. We're not meant to sit and wait for someone to shift the system outside of us so we can change how we feel inside. It works the other way. We change how we feel so we know that we're worthy of it. That's why I had forgotten that that it was kind of normal to love that or to think that stressful energy was like normal. And I definitely now remember thinking back that I had some years where I knew that it was my truth, but it was not reflected back to me. I had like people thinking that I was doing too little and just mirroring those beliefs back to me, or thinking I should sacrifice myself more for those people suffering. All those things are beliefs, and as long as we're holding the beliefs, we will have it mirrored back. So there was nothing wrong with those people telling me. They were just making me aware that those were beliefs still active in my system. But know that it's perfectly possible to live attuned with Mother Nature's heartbeat, and that's the cyclic nature of our human being, and really allowing that sacredness to be in every day, and the journey to be joyful and comfortable for you human. All the other things are just beliefs that we are keeping active by keep believing in them and not challenging them from within. So that was what I want to share. Was a lot of information. Please feel free to ask questions in the comments and I will get back to you. Lots of love. Have a beautiful day.